Welcome back to another episode of Sports for Dummies. My name is Joshua Merchant. I'm joined by co-host John Merchant. How you doing?
Good, Joshy. How are you?
I'm good. What a day for the Milwaukee Bucks. Lillard coming out, playing an absolute cracker again. What are your thoughts? What was your take on that, Johnny?
The fact that we're calling it a cracker again, I think we need to relax. They beat,
Hey, it was a cracker.
They beat the Detroit Pistons, who are one of the worst clubs in the league, and they had to come back from double digits to win.
Is it still
I
a win?
think they need to be
Win's a
better
win?
than that.
But they're second, Johnny. What do you expect from them?
The Milwaukee
Perfection?
Bucks... Yes, perfection, because that's
what,
what
like-
we demand that now from Milwaukee Bucks. They
Why?
won the championship in
Do you
20...
expect that from the Lakers?
Let me finish. The Bucks won 2 years ago.
Yep.
And that was... Giannis set himself on a title run to actually enter, the top 10, top 5 pantheon of players. Since then, every year, they have been first or second and an elite club, but you've always had that little doubt about them. And I can still see it, even though they're equal second. The East, as we've talked about, is very weak. I can see...
They haven't even had Giannis been playing. He's not even playing.
Hang on. Giannis has played. He got ejected. The one good thing about Milwaukee today was they were double points down and Giannis got ejected. What we did get to see was Lillard stand up with 15 points in the last quarter. They're playing Lopez. They're playing Lopez as an interior defender on the block again. But my problem is that they lost to one of the worst sides of the decade, and they beat them by 2 points, and everyone played. Giannis's fault that he got ejected.
Look, just because the Pistons are 15th doesn't mean they're the worst.
The fifth,
I'm joking. They're literally last.
So Detroit are the worst side in the weak East, and we're going to get excited that Milwaukee are second.
It wasn't more or less the Milwaukee Bucks are second. I mean, 76ers are on an absolute winning streak at the moment with their 6 in a row, and they lost the first one they came out.
Well, the good thing with them is Maxey has, since Fat Harden went to your boy, the Clippers were 100 averaging 115, and they haven't hit 100 since he's played.
I don't want to talk about that.
And now Maxey has gone from averaging 16 to 25, and he's got the pressure now that you are an MVP. Now,
You've got to come out and play.
It's not about the regular season, Kawhi do it in the playoffs. He's got a point to prove. I'm actually very much liking them.
Yeah, and the Nuggets, obviously, they're coming out. They're playing with... They're just consistent.
Consistent.
And
Their second best player, Jamal Murray's out for a month or two.
Yeah.
And they still beat the Warriors. Now, I got a couple of messages that Steph's MVP candidate, well, he had 24 and Joke had a 35 triple-double. And now, credit to the Warriors, it was a really good game, but to their coaching with their timeouts, they lost that game by a timeout. They had the opportunity at the end of the game, they had already called a timeout, couldn't find a player, so they called a second timeout.
Yeah.
Which means at the end of the game, they were out of one within 10 seconds.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's the NBA. You'd lose by very slim margins at the end of the day.
But that's what you've got to do. Everyone was telling me about how good Steph was. Steph missed to put them in front.
Yep.
But really, they lost it at the end because Clay had a shot there was 3 seconds left and he had to get rid of it quickly. They lost by a timeout. Yeah. And to say that Steph's, candidate MVP, of course he is, but there's a big difference between him and Joker at the moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, Joker's having a phenomenal...
He's just doing what he does.
Yeah,
he's just doing what he does.
Consistent, even though I don't like... I said he was a boring player early days, and I still believe that, but to be doing what he's doing and averaging the points and the sort of triple-doubles that he's performing and getting over 9 games of b-ball...
Super interesting. We were watching it today. I was with my brother, and he just, every time he sees Joker, he's the boringest. Just look at him labour down. He's not boring. He's 7 foot. He can pass it better than anyone else. He can shoot the lights out. He can post up.
Look, he did one good pass in the highlights that I watched about 3 games back where he throws it from half court and alley-oop straight to the
But it's not even... But even then, it's not his highlights.
No, I know.
It's that he just does what he has to do time and time again.
Yeah. No, I do agree. But it was the highlight for us today. And, all the games, there was a fair few. Definitely, the Bucks, but more or less Lillard.
What I will give Lillard, he came out, he scored 14 in the last quarter. Brook Lopez going back to defense, and proper as in playing at the rim, showing, that extra. He's bigger than Giannis.
Yeah.
My problem is like the last 2 years, and now we've learnt that the Bucks seem to be doing all right.
Yeah.
But there is massive concerns and improvement. Hopefully they can get there. But I have massive question marks on the Bucks. And I had them as the best side in the East. Yeah. And I think they're way off the Celtics at the moment, even at this point.
You mean not Celtics, 76ers?
They're way off the Celtics.
The Celtics? The Bucks?
They're first.
No, Celtics are third.
Really?
Yes, the Bucks are second.
Well, we got that one wrong. I still reckon the Celtics are first, though. How many games have the Celtics lost?
2, but they're on a 2-loss losing streak. They've lost the last 2.
It was okay.
I'm not saying it's the end of the world for them. They were 5-0.
I think I got the standings wrong. I thought 76ers were third.
No, 76ers first.
Well, there you go. Sports for Dummies in its prime.
But it's a cracking season.
I still think the Celtics. It's like when the Nuggets lost.
Yeah,
you didn't take too much of it. They've got the point to prove. 76ers have to do this in the playoffs. The Bucks have holes. Is it good that they're equal second? Of course.
Yeah,
but even though I got those little logistics wrong, my point still stands.
Yeah, I guess so. We can get that wrong. Celtics are doing... those three are...
How did LeBron go? After all that talk, he was playing so well.
How did he go?
They got pumped by Houston.
Oh, yeah, they got absolutely 34
against Dylan
points.
Brooks.
How did LeBron perform, though? Did he actually do all right? Did you watch that game?
Bring it up.
18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
Why did he have to talk? There was no pressure on LeBron anymore. Sorry for tapping. Been told not to tap. He was becoming people who didn't like him favourite player, and then he had to speak, and he lost to Houston.
Good work, LeBron. Anyone who's watching this will have seen we just released.
Don't worry about year 21 LeBron anymore.
No.
I was all about him, and then he just had to get so arrogant again, thinking he's better than he is, and his best is better than everyone, but then he got beaten by Dylan Brooks.
And, no, it wasn't Dylan Brooks who came out and won it. It was...
Dylan Brooks is the defender.
Jalen Green, yeah.
Dylan Brooks is the defender.
Yeah. But he had Jalen Green 21 minutes, and he had 28 points. It's pretty good. Anyway, that's going to wrap this one up. We're more or less just jumping on the Bucks bandwagon. I was, but Johnny's clearly thinking...
My boys, I am very concerned still. I've had 2 years of heartbreak, whether they were the best side and they lost. I need to see more, I guess, chemistry. They might be on the right track, but they didn't have these problems last year, and you could still have gaps. I need to see it further on.
So, yeah. And then on to another note. Clippers, 2 games in. I'm making points on... I've tried to stand my ground for Harden, saying, it's only 1 game, it's a long season. But now, we were coming out, we were averaging a substantial amount of points. As Johnny said, we were averaging over 100 points. Now we're only averaging 90-odd with him.
I deserve it,
What is going on with this guy? Let's be real. I really hope that my comment still stands. I hope in about 10 more games I'm going to review this, but I'm pretty pissed off. No. I'm pissed off. My Clippers... They have 4 fucking superstars in this squad, should be performing pretty damn well together, considering you've all played together at one point in your career. How are we not actually performing?
Well,
How? Small.
I'm going to rebuttal against that, and it has nothing to do with size. Those players... I'm sorry for tapping. Those players have played together before in their primes and lost. So the idea, like I said before, that when there are lesser versions of themselves, that they were going to win, is asinine. Then also, James Harden cannot play with the system. He has to be the system, which has been shown.
Well, he's not being the fucking system.
but
He
hang
scored
on.
like 10
in
points.
the history of basketball, unless you're LeBron James or Wilt Chamberlain,
Yeah, but that's...
and even they have losing records, you are not going to win. Now, these guys are all old. They finally had a unity. Kawhi was back and hungry. George was back and fit. Westbrook had his confidence back. And then, bring Fat Harden in with his pouty attitude, his fat bloody skin, and who has to control everything. We're not... Josh, you will never be right, and it doesn't matter. Harden, they could win the next 10 games, 40 games. It comes to the playoffs where they will break.
No, I do. Yep, and like we spoke about yesterday, I do agree. I think it's going to come down to where we're at the playoffs. I'm pretty pissed off, though. The first 2 games aren't a good representation of what is going to be held up for.
They haven't scored 100.
And the media.
They are averaging a score that the 90s basketball had. That was their highest score, and that was because of harder defense, a slower pace of game. You've got Harden, who's a great distributor, great scorer. He's now got everyone out of whack. He's probably, who knows what the culture's like already. Westbrook's, when he was first being interviewed, what's it going to be like with Harden? He wasn't even politically correct. It's going to be a process. It's going to be when Westbrook is telling you that.
It's going to be a process.
We're done now. That's enough. Please like and subscribe.
And turn your notifications on. We've noticed everyone who hadn't, we actually had a bit of a technical glitch because we might be the sports dummies that know a lot about sport, but we have no idea about tech. So we were learning and we figured out you can now hit the notification button, hit that bell, as they say, ring the bell, and you'll actually get every video coming to you and it will drop into your feed, whatever they call it. Anyway, see you in the next one.
See you guys.